Welcome to another episode of Spin Weekly. My name is Grace Shalom Hopkins. Today we are doing one of my favorite techniques. It's the Landscap Rolag technique. I've showed you this a couple of times before, but primarily in the Batt. It remains one of my most visually appealing techniques. And it's also the technique I go to when I'm looking to access more of a raw, primal, childlike, judgment-free creativity. If I need to channel the good stuff, this is where I go. And this particular one is a good example of how the landscape technique in my books or my recipe cards can be applied to anything. I also have in my book card a recipe about how to be inspired, and that follows a similar process. So if you have my book card, or if you have the recipe cards, I've linked all of them down below, but if you already have them, those are the ones that I'm referencing here. And if you are a $10 or $15 a month Patreon person, you get them for the month of June. So if you want to be a $10 or $15 person to get these cards, you can go ahead and sign up in the links down below. I kind of lost my train of thought halfway through there. When I'm telling information, my brain is already like, let's tell him the cool stuff about my thoughts and feelings behind it, but then also chronologically convey information so it's like understandable and actually helpful. It's complicated to be in my brain. Anyway. So, I'm doing the voiceover for all of you guys here on YouTube, and that's unusual. You guys know I usually do the voiceover for the Patreon people, and the Patreon people this month are getting the music video version. I did that because it is my birthday month, and I wanted to kind of celebrate not only the Patreon makeover to make it more accessible to more kinds of people, but also celebrate one of my favorite techniques and share it with you guys in a more transparent way. All kinds of cool stuff. So that was kind of my thought there. So about the actual technique, I have this deck of cards called A Deck for Wonder Walking, and they're designed by this lady, Amy T. Wan, I have left links down below, to really train your mind to look at the natural environment from new perspectives. So you can draw a card when you're going on a walk or going to like a museum or any kind of hands-on experience. And I guess it doesn't even have to be hands-on. It could be like reading a book. Anything you're doing, and then it will give you kind of a creative word or short phrase, and you can use that lens to noodle what you're taking in. And that's really similar to how I want to present all of my work, all of my videos, all of my books, all of my recipe cards. Everything I do creatively is designed to help you be the boss of your colorway, help you approach a fiber and see it from all different angles and really sink into the scope of the imagination of the thing from many different perspectives. And I feel like a lot of our culture around not just craftiness, but just in general, sort of discourages us from thinking really outside of the box. We have children who have memories of coloring a giraffe purple, and their teacher was like, giraffes aren't purple. What the heck? You're fired, teacher. Clearly. What? Have you ever even learned about human development? Like, go away. So all of my stuff is trained to get you out of that box of the different perspectives that are available to you. There is an infinite number of perspectives available to you. You just have to find them and apply them. Find and apply, because sometimes we have fear around applying. But anyway, so this deck for wonder walking is a similar idea. So what I did was I picked out the colors I wanted first. I had this kind of watery, sunsetty vibe going on because I've really been watching Amara Moon because we did that collaboration for the Tour de Fleece, which you can still get the colorway there. I've left links to her shop down below. And then if you're following me on Instagram, you've been seeing some sneak peeks of what I'm doing there. And I'll actually insert a little clip of my spin so you can't see anything of my super secret technique right here. I'm pointing down below, but it's going to be here. You're seeing it now. Voiceover magic. Isn't this beautiful? I think you're gonna be so excited to see this thing. So anyway, I've been inspired by her perspective. She does a lot of colorways that are inspired by pictures. And a lot of her pictures are very moody, sunsetty, I feel like. Her Father's Day colorway, definitely moody, sunsetty. I'll leave links down to that too. So anyway, I picked out the colors first. And then I spread out the deck all over the floor with the help of the bean, and we chose some cards that matched the colors, kind of. And I did end up having to tweak a little bit, but I knew that was coming. So right there, that's interesting to choose the colors prior to the inspiration piece. So already I'm mixing up what is classically considered the correct way to be inspired. So, and then I just copied the picture onto the blending board. And because this is a voiceover, I'm gonna go ahead and talk more about that with the actual video. But before we even got there, I wanted to explain the steps that I did before, because I didn't film picking out the cards or the fiber colors because the angles of that would be boring. I mean, I suppose I could make something cinematic with picking fiber, but I didn't. So you're stuck with this. My filming is slowly developing. I actually found, a side note, that I had a Skillshare subscription that I got for my brother last year for his birthday, and I have a month left, and I forgot I even had it. So I'm going through all of the personal finance classes, because you guys know I'm getting out of the military. My husband is getting out of the military. I would make a terrible military person on all accounts, including the fact that I'm a pacifist. But anyway. And have you seen this hair? This is not in regulations. But yeah, so I'm taking all the personal finance classes and all of the videography classes. So you guys might not see the benefits too much of my personal finance flexing, but hopefully you'll see some visual enhancement. You probably already have. I'm starting to make more cuts and be more flowy. Hopefully you're enjoying that. But anyway, that's off topic here. On to the voiceover, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any thoughts or feelings or anything, questions, leave them in the comments down below as per usual. I do get to the Patreon comments faster, and there's actually a section where people who are not Patreon people, I post this like YouTube version on Patreon just so I have like a consistent record of what I'm doing, and it has a comment section too. So I'm more likely to see that just because I'm on Patreon already, paying fealty to the Patreon family. So, and if you have a pressing question, you can just contact me on Instagram. That's really the fastest way to get a hold of me. Or if you have like a serious question, you could always go on my webpage and hit the contact me, and that goes directly to my email. That's like for boots on kind of questions. Anyway, if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you want to keep on keeping on with these shenanigans that I have here in my rambly intros and outros, hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. There are many of you now growing every video. It's so exciting. And as per usual, a huge shout out to the Patreon people. If you haven't already gathered in this video, Patreon family is the heartbeat of the show. And in addition to the Patreon people, everybody who buys books, everybody who buys spinning wheels, somebody bought a king bee from me last week. Ooh, I am excited to place that order and send it to you. You know who you are. I love to hook you up with the coolest stuff, the best spinning wheels I know, and my books, both digital and physical. I'm just an enabler. So you guys enable me to do life, and I enable you to do creative stuff, and I appreciate that symbiotic relationship. So until next time, bye!